Now, before anyone says, oh, you're going against what you said in your last video, this has nothing to do with politicians. It's purely a social kind of issue.
If you are specifically a straight white man and you say that Spider-Man Peter Parker is your favorite superhero of all time, unfortunately, I have to remind you that is a red flag.
Well, to me, if you're an adult, like you're over 25 or 30, and you're just really, really into the comic book superhero thing, and it's not just nostalgia, it sends a red flag to me in general. It's like, this person isn't very mature. You know, I don't understand how someone that's an adult can get into things that were originally designed for like 12-year-olds, you know?
So when a white dude says that Peter Parker is their favorite superhero, I always ask them why. And it's the same answer every single time. They say he's relatable.
I mean, I may not totally get the superhero thing as an adult, and I may not even have understood it very much as a kid. I was never really into it then. I always thought it was kind of corny and cheesy, even though I did like the original Superman movies from the late 70s with Christopher Reeve. You know, I always thought of things like Underoos. Does anyone remember Underoos? Spider-Man Underoos, Spidey, and the Hulk and all of that. And it's just like, yeah, I always thought it was kind of silly. But Spider-Man, Peter Parker, was a relatable character if you were a nerd, if you got picked on for being a nerd.
And I always get confused about this whole relatability thing, specifically with white people towards Peter Parker, because what is relatable about him?
Peter Parker was a nerd, and he got picked on for being a nerd until he got the superpowers.
And even if you don't read comic books, you know Peter Parker is the character who has gone through a lot of struggle. And we all know that white men, specifically straight white men, do not struggle at all. So what about that character are you finding relatable?
What an incredibly racist thing to say. What a ridiculous assumption. Just because someone is a white, straight male does not mean they've never went through any sort of struggle. That's ridiculous.
Now, the way that I view white men looking up to Peter Parker as a superhero or as their favorite superhero, it's not the fact that they see themselves in this character or they relate to his struggle, is that they try to live through that character, if that makes any sense.
Well, this is the problem with any superhero character that people look up to in such ways. It's kind of silly to me. Like I said, it's not very mature. But some people would disagree. Some people think that we need these superhero characters for our self-esteem or something. I've never really understood it, but this is the problem with anyone who looks up to and feels like they want to live through some sort of fictional character.
It's like subconsciously they know they don't struggle in life.
You don't know that.
So vicariously living through these fictional characters is the closest thing to that struggle.
Like I said, some people were picked on for being nerdy, for not being the standard enough, for not fitting certain societal expectations.
But they don't have the mental or emotional baggage that comes with that struggle in real life.
Again, you don't know that.
Or at least not in the same way that us black people do, or people of color in general.
Do you truly, honestly buy into the oppression Olympics, where it's this idea that just because someone is black or gay or a woman, they've automatically went through more struggle than any straight white male?
Now, when a black woman specifically says that Spider-Man is their favorite character, that's actually a green flag and not a red flag, because they know struggle more than any of us.
So you do buy into the oppression Olympics. Perhaps you believe in the progressive stack as well.
Now, another reason why white men saying that Spider-Man is their favorite character is a red flag is because they see Peter Parker go through this struggle and they see him still come out a good person, even after all that he's gone through. So they subconsciously think like, oh, if he could go through that struggle and still be a good person, I could do the same thing too.
Well, again, I think that's a problem with being able to relate to an extreme degree with any fictional character.
But what a lot of men don't realize is that there's more to being a good person than to just lock in, going to the gym, and making lots of money.
What kind of person believes that? I've never known anyone who thinks that. Oh, just go through the motions and you'll automatically be a good person. You know, how about people who are high up on the oppression Olympics thinking that, well, just because they're existing as an oppressed group, they're automatically a better person just because of that. That's silly too. You can't just go through the motions. You can't just be part of a particular group and automatically be a good person or a better person.
There's actual work that needs to be done mentally and emotionally to be a good person.
Yes, that's true. Look, I'll give you this. There are people who go around thinking that because they've went through the right motions, because they have the right opinions, because they're Christian or some other thing, you know, they think that just because they supposedly hold certain values, that makes them better people. And that doesn't always make them better people. People do have to put the work in to be a better person, to be a good person.
And let's face it, almost all men do not have the mental and emotional maturity. They don't have the emotional intelligence to put in the hard work that needs to be done to be a good person.
You could say this about anyone.
They think just because they understand why Peter comes out a good guy after all of his struggle makes them a good guy too.
No, nobody but really immature people believe that kind of thing. No one. I've never known anyone I suppose they exist. Maybe you've actually met people who do think that way. I sure haven't met anyone like that ever.
Like, no, you need to put in the work in real life instead of just reading comic books that you don't understand.
Yeah, there's more to life than comic books. That's what I said near the beginning of the video. I don't understand the obsession some people have with comic book superheroes. I think it's really dumb. Except for nostalgic purposes, or they collect figurines. They're collectors, okay? That makes sense, but otherwise it just seems weird. But to say, oh, that you don't understand? What do you mean that they don't understand?
As per usual, stay woke. Have a great day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Well, I'd rather be based than woke, but you do you, boo. Just saying.